348-1007, 35192. Get a text in. You can watch live if you like at alancockshow.com. Who's helping out today? Pucker McManus is helping out. So thanks so much for your assistance. Guardians game is postponed for tonight, so that will air here on WMMS tomorrow. A 1:07 first pitch from Yankee Stadium. So 12:37, I think, is when that pregame will begin. And then we will be on live post-game.
And you can still listen to that on the iHeartRadio app, correct?
The game, yes.
Yes.
Of course. Listen to it on the app. Very, very helpful and convenient. But we'll be on for however long when the game's over. I mean, a game, what, 4 o'clock would probably come on maybe?
Yeah, probably about 4.
Around there. Last
3:30,
game,
4 o'clock, yeah.
that first game was pretty, the first
So
Tampa
fast.
game was
Yeah.
pretty quick.
Going fast.
So anyway, 1:07 tomorrow is when that will happen. I got a letter from whom? Kylie, who I think is our bureau chief down in Mississippi.
Yes.
And she said, you have no idea how much control it took for me to not yell out, Juggalos be tripping, yo. I was in a lab meeting this morning, but it would have only been funny to me. She's doing graduate research down there, I believe. That's why she told me she moved down to Mississippi. One of my lab mates gave a presentation on the need for research on mental health in the Juggalo community. Imagine that.
Juggalos be trippin', yo.
Now, they do be tripping, but whether or not that arises to the level of a mental condition, only one empirical study, Kaylee points out, has ever been conducted on Juggalo mental health. And we proceeded to have a very serious debate about whether or not belonging to the Insane Clown Posse or being a fan was a risk factor or a protective factor for mental health disorders. How would you even go about? And, of course, she was kind enough to attach her peer-reviewed study on this. I mean, I'm not going to go into it, but come on. Violence, trauma, mental health, and substance use among homeless youth juggalos. Well, you know what they say, publish or perish. And so they did a big, long, deep dive into this. Many homeless youths identify as juggalos, the study says. Most likely because the group's music embraces poverty and being an outsider in mainstream society. Boy, you'll never make more money than when you can convince regular people that they're somehow an outsider. People love being an outsider. Or they love feeling that like they're an outsider. Like they just don't fit in. Because everybody's the hero of their own story. But you're also usually, most people consider themselves the victim in their own story too. So you're the hero and you're the victim. And nobody ever wants to be like, it's an epithet actually. You know, when people run for office, it's an epithet. It's a slur. This guy's the ultimate insider. Because everybody wants to think of themselves as being an outsider.
But they don't want to be an outsider by themselves. They want to be an outsider with others.
They want to be with tens of thousands of other outsiders.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Tens of thousands of other nonconformists. Juggalos are stereotyped as being violent, undereducated, poor, racist, crime. Now, again, we've said this for many, many years. If you meet a juggalo or a juggalette, or if you go to the gathering, and I've never been, but you can talk to anybody who'll be like, man, people are loving each other, they're having a good time, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, Kaylee is correct.
Juggalos be trippin', yo.
Kylie, sorry. They be tripping, but we just don't know on what.
I think she should have said it.
If she had yelled out, Juggalos be tripping, yo, and sent me like a voice note or something.
Juggalos be trippin', yo.
I would have been in heaven had she done that. So anyway, thank you, Kylie. And if you are one of our out-of-state bureau chiefs like Kylie, tell me where you listen so I know where you are. She's in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, Fred Armisen's hometown. I wonder if they have a big statue to Fred Armisen in Hattiesburg as one of their, notable residents, former Hattiesburg, whatever. They got that Rambo statue up in British Columbia. They got that Cheeto statue somewhere else. People love statues. They love feeling like outsiders, and boy, do they love statues. We got a big old free stamp here in Cleveland.
When I was in Nashville, there was one of the places where they tore down a statue because they had a statue of a mayor that tried to reinstate slavery. And they're like, this guy should have a statue.
Yeah.
And then
That's awfully far
all these
north.
years later, yeah.
That guy had some balls.
I mean, North Carolina. I mean, they were the South. And
Yeah, they were south of the Mason-Dixon line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they go, hey, we should probably take this down.
Right.
And there's a lot of people who were upset.
Right.
A lot more people were happy, though.
Sure.
Because there's a lot of people that they learn history through statues.
Mhm.
That's the only way they can learn history.
They go on tours of
Mhm.
statues across the United States.
Yeah, I'm pretty ignorant on that kind of stuff because we didn't travel as children, and so we never saw those historical statues. So whereas people were like, "Oh, we saw I don't know, what's a statue? We saw a guy on a horse."
Robert E. Lee statues.
We
got
saw
taken down.
Robert E. Lee. I mean, I saw the General Lee in Pigeon Forge. Does that count?
It does.
Same thing.
And I loved the Dukes of Hazzard as a kid, but we didn't travel to Colonial Williamsburg or non-colonial Williamsburg. None of those were destinations for us. Alan Cox Show After Hours line. People would like to leave voicemail messages there. You can do it. It's 216-986-8903.
Alan Caleb can't listen to the podcast for the last couple of days, and I feel like it's been an extremely rat-heavy few shows.
What do you say?
Rat.
Rat.
heavy.
Oh, rat.
Heavy.
I thought you
Lots
said
of
rat.
rats.
Rat.
Rat.
I worked as a fireman, and I went to a fire in a garbage transfer station a few years back. It's where, the curbside trucks will dump into a building, and then they will put it in a bigger truck and take it to the landfill. And the garbage catches on fire sometimes, and you have to go in there and pull it apart and put it out. And there are rats in there the size of dogs. Just picture a Boston Terrier-sized rat running
Ugh.
around. And it's not great. Just going to be honest. It smells bad, and you think you're going to get a rat fever. Love you, bye.
Rat check!
What kind of fever?
Huh?
What kind of fever?
Rat bite fever! Rat bite fever!
I believe rat bite fever was what he was concerned about getting.
That's a legit concern.
Listen, man, it's not as covered as everything else. First of all, what happened to monkeypox? You're not hearing anything about monkeypox anymore.
They wiped it out.
Probably not.
Nope. Okay.
But all these things you don't hear about all of a sudden. But the instances of rat bite fever, I don't even know they keep track of that. We're out here in these streets commingling with other people who could be stricken with it. They could be rife with rat bite fever. That makes me a little nervous.
Rat check!
And also, like Caleb said, boy, there were rats the size of dogs. Just disgusting. But if you flip that, it's adorable.
Called Chihuahuas.
Dogs the size of rats.
Mhm.
Even Chihuahuas are too big for kind of your average rat.
Not teacup.
Teacup Chihuahua is probably still bigger than maybe not a city rat. Teacup Chihuahua the size of a rat. But it's adorable. But what if you could shrink? What if you could get any dog breed in teacup form?
St. Bernard.
Because Chihuahuas are already small dogs. So when they go teacup Chihuahua, it's not like teacup Great Dane. They're like, oh, we took this,
Teacup.
made it a skosh smaller.
What teacup golden retriever? I just want a golden retriever that looks like a puppy golden retriever.
whole time.
The whole time.
I mean, we have an Aussie. We have a purebred Australian Shepherd, and those dogs can be big. When we got ours, they said that she was a toy, not a mini, a toy Aussie, which I was never heard of before. I guarantee they were wrong, and she's a mini Aussie, right? So she's not super big, but she's not super small either. I don't even know what a toy Aussie is. So we're pretty sure we have a mini.
Whoopsie's a petite golden doodle. There's a lot of people that have mini golden doodles. Those are a little bit bigger than my dog. Which
You
is
got a boutique
petite.
dog.
Yeah.
See, I want just like a chocolate lab. Like just a classic short-haired, cute dog. Chocolate
Made out
lab.
of chocolate.
Yes.
I want like 30 more dogs.
Yeah.
I just got to make the change from living in a condo to
Living
a
on a
house.
farm.
Yes. And
I was going to say, so
I
you're
don't
going to
know
be
if I
like
wanna
an old
do that yet.
You're going to be like an old cat lady, but just with dogs. You'll be a dog man.
Yeah, I've said if I were to stop doing entertainment, I would start like a dog train. I would learn how to train dogs, and I would.
Wait, you'd
start
have
like a
somebody
dog
train you
rescue.
first, and
Yeah.
then you'd pass it along to the dogs?
Exactly. That's how.
It's a lot of work.
Well, it's worth it. Dogs are great. I love dogs.
Yeah, I've always wanted a dog. I haven't had the time or lifestyle.
The
for one.
time.
Yeah. When I lived alone, you can't leave a dog alone for 3 days.
Yeah, that's true.
You can leave a cat alone for a couple days.
That's why you go to those dog-friendly hotels.
No, I'm not going to be that guy. I'm not. And I just said I want a full-sized lab. I got to bring
Yeah,
a
you can take 'em to
90-pound
Jetting
lab
everywhere.
You can take them to
Right.
dog-friendly hotels.
on the air. I can't take him on the airplane.
You can. You just
They're
have to
exactly
drive
fit
everywhere.
in a carry-on.
You have to drive everywhere.
How's Brian feel about dogs?
He doesn't
'Cause-
like pets at all.
Right, because they're messy.
They're messy, and he has to take care of them. We have a fish, and he doesn't like the fish. He doesn't want. He's not a pet guy.
The
at all.
fish.
He doesn't want any extra work.
No extra work, and they're messy and smelly. Yeah. He doesn't want.
But
he's not a
fish are
pet
just
Cute,
so
so
cool.
fun.
And, like, you can just have a bomb-ass, like, fish tank.
Yeah,
and
those
then-
are like $10,000.
And it is a
know, it's
lot of
just
work to
so
keep it
cool.
clean and to.
we just have like a fish bowl with one beta fish in it, and you gotta clean the thing once a week.
That's what we have
and,
right now. Yeah,
Stinks if you don't.
it's something I get to do with my daughter.
Yeah.
Scrub it out, and then hope that the fish continues to live.
Hey, this is Nick from the Canton area. Alan, I gotta tell you, man, I've never been more excited. Once I heard that human cells are getting put into rats, I've never been more excited. Master Splinter, that's all I've got to say. We're getting them. We're finally getting them. Then the Ninja Turtles, and then everything's gonna be perfect. Just like my childhood. I love it.
Red Chat.
Well, there it is. That's a good point. We can get a Master Splinter, then we can get Ninja Turtles, and there was no conflict in the world of the Ninja Turtles. It was just about peace.
And pizza.
I love pizza.
Yeah, I never,
Well, actually,
watched the Ninja Turtles, but I had the comic books, but I never watched the cartoon.
They actually we're always trying to save the world, and there's a lot of karate. They were ninjas.
Well, they
Did
were
ninjas do karate? I don't know. They're fighting a lot of
yeah,
fighting.
I mean, yeah. I mean, ninjas are stealthy. I don't know how stealthy you can be if you're a giant turtle.
They're pretty stealthy in the movies. That first movie, with all the Jim Henson animatronics and stuff, holds up. I love that movie. It's kind of dark. It's kind of weird, but it's great.
I guess I'd have to go back and watch it. Never seen it because there were 4 or 5 of them, right?
So they
I
did.
saw the first one.
They did 3 the first run, and then they did a bunch of animated ones, and then they did 2 Michael Bay produced ones with
Chris Evans.
no. Johnny Knoxville was the voice of one of them.
Oh, okay.
Alan Hutchinson was one of them, and then Machine Gun Kelly's. Are they married? Wife?
They're
Girlfriend?
engaged.
Oh,
Okay.
Megan
I don't know if
Fox.
I got
Megan
married
Fox
or
was
not.
there.
They're engaged, I believe.
Megan Fox was April O'Neil.
Okay. Hey, Bill.
Hey, Al.
What's up?
Hate this show.
Thank you.
Yes. You know what they never bring up about dogs? I have a dog. Everyone I know has a dog. Is you fall in love with them, they become a member of your family. But man, when they get sick or break a leg or have cancer, these veterinarians, no wonder they live in mansions. One guy I know spent $9,000
That's so much
out of the blue on, the dog broke its spine or something like that.
Jeez.
Another person, cancer treatment, and spent, I think it was $12,000 on a dog because it's hard to terminate your dog, and
We were talking about this last week because in the course of about 24
Yeah.
hours, our veterinarian got about $1,000 between us and my mother-in-law because her dog has an eye infection and our dog got hurt and needed sutures and the whole bit. And I've told my daughter who's in the first grade, every little girl has an I want to be a vet when I grow up phase because they love animals. I said, you should really, really stick with that. Don't ever lose that dream because you'll just stack cheddar day and night.
Right. Yes, you should encourage anybody. You'll be living in mansions bigger than
And there's not a
a
glut of them either. There's like a some places,
yeah.
you'd be hard pressed to find a veterinarian at all. And so
Yes, true, but it's supply and demand. But people really, really, really should, and I recommend this, is get that pet insurance because my son didn't he had a French bulldog right when he got it. Blah 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 happened, and he spent $5,000 out of pocket. So then he got it, and the dog broke something. It was like this crazy amount, like $9,000.
Woo.
So he's going to walk by your window. I haven't been down to your new studio, but he'll show you his French bulldog.
I'll tell you what, boy, that pet insurance, it's almost worth throwing your own dog in front of a car, right? Just to get your money's worth out of it?
Yeah, if only I could get that amount, for my wife. Oh, I'm sorry.
All right, thank you, Bill.
Hey.
Bill in Lakewood. Yeah. Hey, Drunk Sue.
Hey, baby, how are you?
How've you been?
I'm been good. I haven't called for a little while.
I noticed.
Yeah, I'm okay. Having a hard time.
What's
Today's the year.
Oh, today is the year since your daughter passed away.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
But anyways, I know, me too.
Yeah.
I want to call in about a Ninja Turtle story.
Well, okay.
My son loved the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah. It was very boy-centric.
He saw on the Ninja Turtles that they could run across the porch, hit their hands on the side, and land on their feet. Guess what?
He tried it.
He tried it.
Yeah.
It didn't work out so well. So,
Yeah, I was never a kid that tried things I saw in cartoons. I mean, I fully understand that. I fully understand that drive if you're a kid to say, hey, let's see if I can do that. But there was something in my brain, even as a young man, that would tell me, that's a cartoon and I'm not. And that's not going to work out for me. But some kids, boy, they plow right past
that. He
that.
was like 5 years old.
Yeah, they plow right past it.
Oh, yeah. Broke his arm.
Think they're going to beat the system.
2 places broke his arm.
What, like at your house and then down the street?
No, it's on our front porch.
Oh, 2 places on his arm. I thought you meant 2 separate places he broke his arm. 2 separate locations. I got you. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm at work and I come home and I find my son in a cast. I'm like, what in the world happened? He goes, well, he was doing a ninja thing and he thought he could make the jump. I said, why didn't you call me?
Had you been
I'm
at work?
Working at a plastics. I was at a plastics place.
Yeah.
I would have loved nothing more than to hear, come home. You know?
You wanted them to call you and bring you home.
Well, yeah, I wanted to get the rest of the day off. I mean, I was disappointed that he broke his arm.
Yeah, of course. But why couldn't they think of you, Sue, and let you use your son's injury to your benefit?
That's my husband.
Yes.
Didn't call me.
Why can't they think of you? She's over there toiling away at the plastics place. Get her out of there. Put her in the doctor's office. That's much more exciting.
I'd have much rather. It was the summertime.
Sure. You got brand new medical
it's
bills.
hot in there.
Leave work where you're not getting paid anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I told you one time I wanted the day off. My daughter had her birthday. It was her birthday, and I'm always at work on the afternoons. Well, anyway, I told the foreman the day before, Joe, I think his name was. I told him I needed the next day off. And he said, well, what's wrong? I said, I have to have an operation. And he goes, well, what for? I said, it's a gizzardectomy. He just looked at me and he goes, people don't have gizzards. I said, I know. That's why I have to have an operation.
Ah, Sue. And he looked at her, he said, all right, take the day off. You crack me up. You're killing me. Thank you, Sue. I appreciate it. It was Drunk Sue out there in Canton. And again, sorry for your loss on the 1-year anniversary of her daughter passing away. Boy, no parent should have to bury a child. But, yeah, as a kid, I was not a kid that was trying things I saw in movies. And as such, no broken bones. Because, again, my mind went to, well, if I break a bone because of my own negligence or trying to play around, that's just going to cost my parents money.
That was where your head was. I don't
Makes
wanna
sense,
cost
right?
My parents money.
I don't. Why do I want them pissed at me because I broke my arm? Because I'm trying to replicate what the Ninja Turtles are doing. Hey, Rob, hello.
Hi, how's it going?
What's up, Rob?
Yeah, I had a story about the Ninja Turtles. I was a big fan, and my mom had bought me I think they're Bobo dolls, where you push them over, they bounce right back up.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would always pretend like I was a Ninja Turtle. And as a little boy, you're just in your underwear playing around. And I had gum in my mouth at the time, and my mom said that I had to get rid of the gum so I wouldn't choke on it. So I thought it'd be a good idea to stick it under my pants. And as I said, I was only short.
Okay. I think we've lost Rob. Sorry, Rob, you're cutting out there. I can't. Sure, it was. And I hate to cut off anything gum related, gum and underwear related. Boy, you knew that one was going to be a real crusher. But I'm sorry you got cut off there. I got to take a break anyway. If you'd like to text for something, 35192 to get me there. AlanCoxShow.com. And you can listen on the iHeartRadio app.
The Alan Cox Show.